I have returned. I've come back. I've come back to see you all. You know, you probably haven't seen a direct face-to-face video from me for the last 2 weeks, but in the last 2 weeks, a few stuff have happened. Quick overview: family went away. I was still working out, but you would have seen a couple of shorts from me training in the gym, going for walks. And now you would have started to see my couch to 5K, but there hasn't been a one-to-one kind of one-to-one discussion with me and the camera, or with me with everyone else. So let's talk about weight loss. And I'm still losing weight, guys. So at one point, my family were away for a week, and I continued training, but I also continued eating rubbish. And I said to myself, if I weigh myself, you know what's going to happen, right? I'm going to potentially put on weight. No, I will put on weight, because I know I indulged in the carbs, and I was just like, while my family's away, I'm on holiday. I felt that was a holiday as well. As you know, being around the family all the time is just constant. And the fact that they were away, I felt like, you know what, it's my holiday time. I'm going to enjoy it. So I enjoyed it by still working out, but also just eating what I kind of wanted to eat. So that's why I avoided going into the scales. So this last week, I've been more or less kind of jogging every day. Actually, no, I haven't been jogging every day. I just realized I've been going on walks for the last 4.5 days, based on the fact that I had sciatica in my left bum cheek. Yes, I said left bum cheek. Down my left bum cheek and to my feet. Honestly, it's probably one of the worst pains I've experienced in a long time. It was. Don't ask me how it happened. It just, one morning, or I think it was in the evening, I felt some form of twinge, and I was like, "Oh, what's that?" Especially not doing anything. But lucky enough for YouTube, as this is going on YouTube, I found some exercises to kind of do throughout a period of time, where the pain started to ease and are now eventually going away. So I have still been walking. Not very fast, to be honest, pretty slow, to kind of trying to ride the pain so that I can still get the steps in, and fundamentally still show that I've been kind of, my body to kind of keep on going, keep on burning those calories, which then will burn the fat. So, which I've been doing, and I lost 2 pounds, which obviously is fantastic. I think losing 2 pounds in general, anyone would be happy, but now I'm back on the running, and I've been running twice. I've ran twice this week so far, and it's been fantastic. Feel rejuvenated. Today I ran around the park without stopping. And I don't think you realize what that actually means. Like the couch to 5K, I have been following it, not entirely to exact to what its requirements are, but I'm running around the whole park. I haven't done that. I don't think I've done that before. Literally, when I get halfway, it's like, that's me. I'm stopping. I'm not doing that again. Or I just walked the other half. Today, ran around the whole park, and I was like, I actually didn't have to stop. I stopped because I don't know why I stopped. It just stopped. But anyway, and I did that twice. I ran around the park twice, and I was just like, do you know what, Rich? You should be proud of yourself, because the fact that you keep on going. Even today was running around the park. You know, when you spot someone, and you'll see from other videos coming out that my area where I live is quite friendly, and everyone kind of says hello, which I love about my area. And it reminds me of growing up. and just just I see a guy, and I was running and he was walking, and we were around the same age, and I think it doesn't really matter what age you are, right? And in connection, and he said, "Oh yeah, keep it up, mate, keep it up," which I love. So the second time when I ran, then I started walking. So we bumped into each other again, and it was like, then we started talking, have a brief conversation, saying, losing weight is really key. You're losing weight is really key, and how, as we're getting older, it's harder to lose weight. So it's, just trying to maintain it before you get to 50. And then it's, just general conversation. And then he said that, oh yeah, I might as well join you while we're walking. And we started walking, and the walking that we were doing was a really good brisk walk, and we started talking. And I don't know how we went down this hole, but he started telling me about his life, and how we got to get it so deep, I have no idea. But he started talking about, he said he's been clean of drugs, and I thought, okay, I didn't think of any form of hard drugs, but he told me that he was on heroin. He was on crack for years. Like, he said that it was on heroin and crack for about at least 5 years. He lost his family, lost his wife, lost his kids, and he was also an alcoholic to top that. And I'm like, heroin, crack, and alcohol. Why aren't you dead? Do you know what I mean? Like, that is on the next level. And he said he could not see a way out. And then he spoke about how he tried to commit suicide 3 times. I was like, oh wow. And in my head, I'm thinking, I'm processing all this information, and I said to myself, he's telling me something that you usually wouldn't tell someone unless you've come through it. And obviously, which he has. And he goes to me, oh, you might think I'm crazy, but that the third time that he tried to take his life, he said that it took a whole range of tablets. He said that every tablet possible that he could get his hands on, he literally took it. And he said that through the dying aspect of things and him losing consciousness, he said that, and he goes to me, oh, you think I'm crazy, but he said he saw the Grim Reaper, or someone holding a stick with a kind of a hook on the top of it. So obviously the Grim Reaper, right? And he said that, and then the Grim Reaper slit his throat. Obviously he was hallucinating, and he ran to the mirror, holding his throat, thinking his throat was cut. When he looked in the mirror, and nothing was there. And then he said he just woke up. And from that very point, he said he had to put his life back together. And I was just like, and I thought, wow, coming from where you were then, and to coming to where you are now, it's absolutely phenomenal. He said that he realized he had to change, not just for him, for his family, for his parents, and for his brother. And he went through like a whole range of struggles, as expected, because come on, taking your life, trying to take your life, and seeing things, and usually that's what happens, right? You see certain things, and somehow you cross. There's a line that there's something that happens in your mind that allows you to it triggers something for you to make that change. And him trying to commit suicide on the third attempt and failing, thank God he failed, and now being able to now changed his life around. He said that he's obviously, since he stopped taking the drugs and drinking alcohol, he's put on weight, which is expected. You nourish yourself with foods that you kind of missed previously, and now that he's put on weight, he feels that he obviously needs to lose weight. So he's been on his own journey. And sometimes, when you think of the times that you're depressed and everything else, and speaking to someone like him and his scenarios, his issues, and you look at your own and you're thinking, I've been through nothing. I've absolutely been through nothing compared to him. And, the mind, is just like, in order for you to kind of get through certain scenarios, like your mind plays tricks on you and puts barriers, puts walls. Sometimes you're constantly hitting a brick wall, and you're thinking, how am I going to break this wall down? And I've been there, I've been depressed, and I've hit continuous brick walls. And it triggers something for me to kind of either break through that wall or climb over that wall. And I believe he's broken through that wall. And even to top it off, he mentioned to me that he lost his brother a few weeks ago. So him getting over the drugs and then losing his brother, it's like losing a brother 2 years after you kind of being over the drug addiction and the alcohol, and now then losing your brother, and still continuing. I found him as an inspiration. I honestly found him as an inspiration, battling through that and getting his wife and kids back in his life. He's moved him, because at one point he was also homeless to top all of everything happening, because once you lose your family and no one trusts you anymore, you kind of got nowhere to go, because no one trusts you, right? Because potentially people are thinking, if I let him in my house, he's going to steal money, he's going to do this and do that. So the trust is all gone. So the fact that he got through all that and is still fighting the battle, losing your brother as well, losing his sibling. I obviously, touch wood, I never want that to happen, but that could happen to anyone, and eventually will happen to people. But yeah, I just feel that he's an absolute inspiration to all. He's talking about helping others. He was part of a AA group, which is Alcohol Anonymous group, and then he went to NA, which is something to do with drugs. I can't remember what it stands for. And now he's helping people within his own community, the Sikh community, and we spoke about religion. He said that he didn't just find help from just his religion and region, reading the scriptures from his Sikh book. He was reading the Bible, and he took scriptures from different sources of different religions to help him through his recovery process. And I think people tend to kind of just concentrate on just one religion. He still Sikh, he still practices his religion as a standard, but you can also take scriptures from other places to kind of help better yourself, help you progress and get through situations. Hardeep, you'll probably never see this video, but trust me, you are an inspiration to all. Coming through what you've dealt with and what you're still going through, and being a kind of supporting the community, the recovery of the community within your own community, and even talking to me, it was a massive inspiration. Massive inspiration. And keep up the hard work. I bet you any money I will never see him. And this is the first time I've seen him in my area in the last 4 to 5 years. And I've been going to that park with the kids and everything else for the last 4 to 5 years. And I've never seen him. But trust me, just to let you know, you inspired me to keep on going, keep on being focused. Don't stop, don't just, giving up is not an option. It's about accountability. And as you guys know, I've been doing this YouTube thing for the last couple of months now. And one of the reasons why I set up this YouTube was accountability. And Hardeep, you're keeping me going without a doubt. That was the Richard Experience. Like, subscribe, and share.